What's up, everyone? I have been bouncing back and forth with what video should be my first. I just figured out something simple, like doing some Buzzfeed quizzes would be a great starter video. It's very simple, there's not a lot to it. You learn a lot about yourself that you didn't think you knew before. We're going to see if we can pass a 90s babies childhood TV quiz. Let's see what happens. Who's known for saying a baby's got to do what a baby's got to do? They're starting us off easy because there's not many babies on this list. I honestly, this might offend some people. It might not even be a real character, but I don't know who Bobby Generic is. I'm pretty sure that's just someone to throw us off. Unless that's Bob the Builder and Bobby's just his full name. Timmy Turner, 10-year-old kid, 8-year-old kid, somewhere in there, 12-year-old. He's a kid, not a baby. And Barney, we're not going to get into that. This one is obviously Tommy Pickles from the Rugrats. Which of these was not a recurring sketch on All That? Now, I watched a lot of cartoons, but All That was not one of them. So this is actually going to be a very, very educated guess. Ask Ashley, Repairman, Vital Information for Your Everyday Life, and Mavis and Cloud. Now, here's my thinking, right? The first one was the third answer, which means more than likely the third answer is not going to come twice in a row. Ask Ashley just seems a little bit too on the nose for an answer for this kind of thing. So we're down to Repairman and Mavis and Cloud, which actually just sounds like an 80s movie to me. So I'm going with Repairman. It was Mavis and Cloud. Sorry, everyone who is a big fan of All That. I never watched it. What was the clown's name in the big comfy... Oh, we were just talking about the big comfy couch the other day. I want to say, I don't think it's Lunette. And again, I'm going with the logic that they wouldn't give the same number to answer twice in a row, so I don't think it's Luann. Plus, Luann just doesn't sound like a cartoony name. It's either Molly or Daisy. I'm going with Daisy. It was Lunette. Who knew? See, I knew her face. I just couldn't remember her name. What was the name of Corey Matthews' longtime love interest / girlfriend in Boy Meets World? And I'm pretty sure it's Topanga. I was like, I know Topanga was the person he was always with, but I wasn't sure if that was a trick question. Alright. What are the name of the Powerpuff Girls? Buttercup, Blossom, Bubbles. Easy. Okay. This one. So I am a very big SpongeBob fan. I grew up on SpongeBob. Watched a lot of it. Lot of great quotes. Do you carry a lunchbox? Is not a quote. What was the name of Doug? I actually never watched Doug, so it's Pork Chop. I was hoping for a cool moment there. Didn't happen. Yeah, never watched it. What? Okay. It's not Hey Arnold. And I don't think it's Life of Louie. I want to say it's... Honestly, guys, I don't know. Outside of Hey Arnold, it's Bob's World. That's what I was down to. I was down to Bob's World, Fantastic Max. I'm actually doing a lot worse than I thought I was going to. I know the names of them. It's okay, guys. This is this is going wrong. Okay, I can get this one. It's DD. I'm not even going to go through it. I've been wrong a lot already on this quiz. I'm not going to waste any time. This one's DD. Which one of these names was not a Planeteer from Captain Planet? I feel like Mai Tai is a Captain Planet name because it's so just off. I want to say it's Whaler. It's Keisha. Oh, that's Captain Planet. Never watched it. And finally, what's the name of Miss Frizzle's pet lizard? I should have known that one. All the other ones, I'm passing for myself. Because there's a lot of shows I guess I didn't watch. See if I can guess the classic Disney movie from a single quote. Wish me luck. Ladies, do not start fights, but they can finish them. I want to say that's the Aristocats. Okay, good. I vaguely remember this movie as a kid. Never watched it again as an adult. So I was really digging deep into my childhood there. Have you ever been to Baiai? Okay. I'm gonna admit it, this one's a complete guess. These are 4 movies that I do know about. Slightly. But I don't know enough about them to know that any of them deal with Baiai. Yeah. Actually, that's the one I knew pretty much nothing about. Oh, it deals with Daffy Duck. Who knew? 10,000 years will give you such a crick in your neck. Ooh. Probably the greatest voice actor in this movie. One of the greatest actors. It's from Aladdin. Yeah, my boy Genie. As soon as he came out of the lamp. I didn't make it all the way through 3rd grade for nothing. Since it's talking about 3rd grade, I don't think it's going to be one of the 2 of these. I feel like logically it would be these 2 if it's the boy. Okay, actually it was a lucky guess. Never saw The Rescuers. Seeing a common theme here. Now, Father, you're living in the past. This is the 14th century. Ooh. I'm gonna go, and this is gonna sound bad, I'm gonna go with the one who had a father. I don't know if the other ones had a father. Okay. Who knew? Sleeping Beauty had a father. We'll always be friends forever, won't we? Okay. That's, out of all the ones, this one made the most sense about 2 characters talking about being friends. Definitely not friends here. So really it was down to Bambi and the Fox and the Hound. And I went with the one where the 2 friends were in the title. It made sense. Always let your conscience be your guide. I'm really trying to get this right. So I'm trying to decipher between all of them. and it's not working. We're going to heed their advice, and we're going to let our conscience be our guide. And my first thought was The Little Mermaid, and it was Pinocchio. Oh, okay. It would be so nice if something would make sense for a change. You know what? Me too. Me too. And this is happening in a world where nothing was making sense. The past can hurt, but you can either run from it or learn from it. Ooh, this is a good one. I want to say it's either Mulan or The Lion King. I love The Lion King, and I've watched it at least a dozen times. But I don't remember every single quote from it. It's Mulan. That's a Lion King. Should have went with my conscience. They can't order me to stop dreaming. This is Mulan. It's Cinderella. I'm gonna get Mulan one of these times. She's not answering this one. You know, I have the strangest feeling that I've seen that ship before a long time ago when I was very young. Here's the thing. It's got to be either Peter Pan or The Little Mermaid, right? I hope y'all are doing better than I'm doing right now. I'm struggling. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna stick with our conscience. It worked the first time. Failed to do it the second time. Follow your conscience. You never know what they did to me, you big goon. Get me out of this stinking fresh air. Okay. I feel like this is a very Tim Allen quote. And it's not. It's from The Parent Trap. The original Parent Trap? And every job that must be done, there's an element of fun. You find the fun and snap. The job's a game. This is a very Mary Poppins thing to say, isn't it? I thought so. She was always the one who was like, oh, it might be dark to normal people, but if you make it fun, it's all bright and shiny and happy and rainbows. That was Mary Poppins in her attitude. So that lines up. Well, there's the usual things. Flowers, chocolates, promises you don't intend to keep. Amen. I originally was leaning towards Beauty and the Beast. But I feel like I could be wrong. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Easy. Had it the whole time. It's a long quiz. It appears that I now have an outlaw for an in-law. This is either Tangled or Robin Hood. I feel like Robin Hood's a little bit too on the nose with the outlaw thing. So we're going Tangled. It was Robin Hood. I'm tired and I'm hungry, and my tail's froze, and my nose is froze, and my ears are froze, and my toes are froze. This is from the 101 Dalmatians. I knew that one. From that specific scene. Odds bodkins kazooks. Look at the old spook of spooks. This is giving very much The Nightmare Before Christmas. The rhymes and the spooks and the weird language. Okay. Never heard of that. Yep. I was as good as screwed over on that one. Man, that's what I call a swinging party. It's it's got it. It's not the Aristocrats, and it's not Mulan. It's Tarzan and the Jungle Book. It's two of the Jungle Boys. But I feel like the more the party side would be the Jungle Book. They just felt like partiers, you know? You know what I mean? Yeah. That man specifically was a party animal. Literally. The flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. That's Pocahontas. That's.
I'm gonna get Milan one of these times.
I failed myself. Every single time Mulan had been coming up recently, I was picking her and I was like, it's gotta be Mulan at some point. And the one time I don't go with Mulan is the one time. Such is life. And listen with your heart and you will understand. Well, it's not Mulan anymore. I feel like this one is actually Pocahontas. I'm a bibbidi bobbidi basic fan. Sorry, only people with actual survival skills can pass this quiz, and I bet you're not one of them, and I bet they're right. But, thanks to Buzzfeed, we're going to find out today. If you're lost in the wilderness, you should follow a river or stream downstream to find civilization. I feel like this is going to be one of those, like, type of true or false where, like, there's just one word that's slightly changed. Like, in this case, it wouldn't be downstream, it would be upstream to find civilization. But I think this one is actually true. Following water downstream is generally good advice. Rivers and streams often lead to larger bodies of water where human settlements are typically located. I thought about that. You can safely drink your own urine if you have no water available. Just for the sake of sanity, I'm going to say false. Drinking urine will actually dehydrate you faster. Urine contains water, waste products, and salts that your kidneys have filtered out, which requires more water to process. Yeah, see? Don't drink your own pee. Moss always grows on the north side of trees, making it a reliable navigation tool. See, this is the one that's going to be trippy. This is the one that's going to be trippy. Because moss always does grow on the side of the tree for navigation purposes. But I don't remember if it's the north side. But we're going to stick to it. This is a myth. Moss grows wherever moisture and shade are present, which can be any side of the tree depending on the environment. Never rely on moss for navigation. Moss always does grow on the side of the tree for navigation purposes. Don't listen to me. In a survival situation, shelter should be your first priority before finding water or food. Ooh. Interesting take, because we play a lot of survival games. And finding shelter is not always the first priority. Rather, finding the materials to build the shelter. But also, while you're finding the materials to build the shelter, you're also collecting the food or the water along the way. In a survival situation, I'm gonna have to say no on this one. It's true. The rule of threes. You can survive 3 hours without shelter in harsh conditions, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. Shelter protects you from hypothermia and exposure. Well, on to the next. If you're bitten by a snake, you should immediately suck out the venom. Good question. Hopefully I never had to deal with it, because it's true. It's false. I'm doing really well. Never try to suck out venom. This can cause more tissue damage and introduce bacteria. Keep the bite below heart level. Stay calm and seek medical attention immediately. Well, yes, but like, okay. You probably screwed either way, honestly. Eating snow is a good way to stay hydrated in winter survival situations. If the last one was false, this one's gotta be true. It's also false. Eating snow lowers your core body temperature and burns calories your body needs. Always melt snow first before drinking, ideally warming it up to body temperature. I'm dead. I'm dead. There's just I feel like this is only going to be like 10 questions long, and I've already missed like 4 of them. And it's only true or false. It's a 50-50 chance. And I'm just doing really bad. If you're stranded, staying in one place is usually better than wandering around looking for help. I feel like this is situational. Like, it depends on where I'm stranded and the likelihood of someone else being around there. Like, if you're stranded on an island by yourself, you know no one's around there for help, so why would you go wandering around looking for the help? Oh well. Staying put makes it much easier for search and rescue teams to find you. Moving around expands the search area and can lead you further from rescue. But it could also do the opposite, really. Like, what happens if you're in the last place that they're going to look? You actually going out and exploring could help them find you faster. It's more about the risk-reward type of thing. High risk, high reward. I don't know. That was a tough one. That one was all situational. All berries found in the wild are safe to eat if birds if birds are eating them. This one I should get right. It is false. Birds can safely eat many berries that are toxic to humans. Never assume something is safe for you just because animals can eat it. Their digestive systems are different. And I feel like that was the easiest of the questions. The average person can start a fire by rubbing 2 sticks together in just a few minutes. I feel like I've seen a lot of survival shows, and I feel like they make it easier. But I feel like it's leaning on the side of false. Friction fire starting requires the right wood types technique and can take 30 minutes or more even for experts. Always carry matches, lighters, or a ferro rod as backup. Who knew? Don't believe movies, they're not real. Wearing dark colors helps you stay warmer in cold survival situations. Is it gonna have to do something with body heat? Like, I figured that was true because like the last 3 of them were false. It had to have been true at some point. Dark colors absorb more sunlight and convert it to heat, helping you stay warmer. However, in summer heat, dark colors can... Well, yes. But how often in cold survival situations is there going to be sunlight outside? Think about the movie Day After Tomorrow. Like, how often did they actually see sunlight? And was it out there long enough? I'm doing a lot more explanation for this one, I feel. If you're in a lightning storm, laying flat on the ground is the safest position. I feel like you spreading your body out is actually giving lightning more surface area to strike than if you just stood straight up like a stick. But what do I know? Laying flat increases your contact with ground current. Instead, crouch on the balls of your feet and heels together, minimizing ground contact while staying low. Okay. Right answer. Wrong thought process. But hey, in the end, it doesn't even matter. You can safely drink water from a clear, fast-moving stream without purifying it. That is false. Clear water, it can still contain I'm not even gonna attempt it. It's got a lot of bacteria in it. It's got a lot of gross stuff that is still floating around, even though it is clear. If you encounter a bear, you should play dead immediately. Yeah, I think you should. Yeah, totally. Yeah. It depends on the bear. So you can't give me a true or false and then just say it depends. Like that changes the answer. So technically I was right. It's the second time this happened. It depends on the bear. With black bears, fight back. With grizzlies, play dead only if attacked. With polar bears, try to escape or fight. Know your bears. That one's tough because they were like, it all depends. Cotton clothing is a good choice for survival situations in cold, wet environments. I feel like it's going to have something to do with the insulation. Okay, never mind. Cotton kills. Once wet, cotton loses all insulating properties. Okay, good to know. And dries slowly, leading to hypothermia. Choose wool or synthetic materials that retain warmth when wet. If anything, I may not be winning this, but I'm gaining a lot of good survival instinct situational information. You should ration your water supply in a survival situation to make it last longer. I mean, yeah, isn't that what rationing is all about? Okay. Don't ration water, ration your sweat. Drink what you need to stay hydrated and functional. Dehydration impairs judgment and physical ability when you need them most. If you're stranded in the desert, you should travel during the day to cover more ground. That is false. It is the opposite. You should travel more at night when it's cooler. That way you don't sweat so much, so that way you can ration your water. We just went over this. It's false. Travel at night or during dawn and dusk in the desert. Midday heat can cause rapid dehydration and heat exhaustion. Rest in shade during the hottest hours. The international distress signal is three of any: 3 fires, 3 whistle blasts, or 3 gunshots. I feel like that's very specific. It's got to be true. 3 is the universal distress signal. Repeat the pattern with pauses to distinguish it from normal activity. This works with sounds, fires, and any visible signal. Is the highest possible ground always the safest place to build a shelter? No. I think we actually went over this in one of the earlier questions where water going downhill leads to bigger bodies of water where a lot of people built their shelters. While high grounds avoid flooding, it exposes you to wind and cold. Choose a location slightly elevated but protected from wind. Okay, once again, right answer, wrong thought process to it. I think we're almost done. You can tell how long until sunset by holding your hand up to the horizon and counting finger widths. I believe it. Each finger width between the sun and horizon equals about 15 minutes of daylight remaining. This helps you plan shelter and fire before darkness falls. Oh, there's more questions. Rubbing frostbitten skin vigorously will help restore circulation and warmth. That doesn't sound right to me. It doesn't. Never rub frostbitten skin. This causes more tissue damage. Instead, warm the area gradually with body heat or lukewarm water. Seek medical attention for severe frostbite. Good thinking. If you fall through ice into freezing water, you should try to pull yourself out immediately in the direction you are traveling. Hold on. Never heard of this actually. I'm curious to know. Go back the way you came. That ice was strong enough to hold you before. Kick your legs to get horizontal. Dig your elbows into the ice and pull yourself out. Roll away from the hole to distribute your weight. The more you know. A mirror or any reflective surface can be used to signal aircraft up to 10 miles away. Does this have something to do with like changing how the aircraft pilots see below? Like if they see something that doesn't fit the perspective they're looking at, they're going to think something's weird? A signal mirror is one of the most effective rescue tools. Flash it toward any aircraft or search party. Even a phone screen or CD can work in a pinch. They don't go into a description on how it works or why it works. But hey, I got it right. If you're lost in the woods at night without a flashlight, you should keep moving to stay warm. What? What does a flashlight have to do with staying warm? What? No. Okay. Stop and make shelter. Oh, yeah, we talked about this. You don't need to keep moving. All the other ones talked about like staying in your place before. I mean, I got it right, but it's not what I was thinking about. Stop and make shelter immediately. Moving at night risks injury from falls, getting more lost, and wasting energy. Build a shelter and wait for daylight. All mushrooms that grow on trees are safe to eat. No. I feel like that wasn't even a myth to begin with. I feel like mushrooms are probably some of the most deadliest things you could try to eat, even when supposed to be healthy. This is a dangerous myth. Some deadly mushrooms grow on trees. Never eat wild mushrooms unless you're 100% certain of identification through expert knowledge. Yeah. If you find yourself sinking in quicksand, you should struggle and try to swim out immediately. No. I do know this. Moving around a lot while in quicksand will actually make you sink faster. Move slow and deliberately, lean back to distribute your weight, make gentle swimming motions, and work your way to solid ground. Thrashing makes you sink faster. Pine needles can be boiled to make tea that provides vitamin C. That actually sounds crazy enough to be true. Pine needle tea is rich in vitamin C and can help prevent scurvy. Use young green needles and avoid yew trees, which are toxic and look similar. If you're caught in a rip current at the beach, you should swim directly towards shore against the current. I've heard the opposite. I've heard both sides, if we're being honest. Like, some say don't go to the current because you'll just go away, but also if you swim directly against the current, like, you're going to tire yourself out and then you're going to be lost anyways. Like, it's a lose-lose situation. But if you're thinking about it, you're going to be swimming towards shore, so you're going to be more at an angle. You're not going like directly against it, going the opposite way. So we're going to say true for that case. False. Swim parallel to shore to escape the current, then swim back to land. Okay, so you are going with the current. Fighting the current directly will exhaust you. Stay calm and conserve energy. I was half right. That's got to count for something. You can use duct tape to treat blisters and prevent infections in survival situations. Yeah, that sounds right. Duct tape can prevent blisters, create bandages, and even make emergency stitches. It's one of the most versatile items in any survival kit. If someone is experiencing hyperthermia, you should give them alcohol to warm them up quickly. I've seen it done in movies, but I've also been tricked by movie logic before already. So we're going with it again. It's true. It's false. We got let down again. Alcohol dilates blood vessels and causes heat loss, making hypothermia worse. Give warm, sweet drinks instead, and wrap the person in dry blankets or sleeping bags. I didn't know we had sleeping bags. Why are we drinking alcohol if we could just get in sleeping bags? Lastly, the North Star can help you navigate, but only in the northern hemisphere. I feel like that's true. Yeah. Polaris marks true north in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, use the Southern Cross constellation to find south. Know your sky. Hey, we started off slow, but we really picked it up there at the end. You got decent survival instincts. You know enough to avoid major mistakes, but brushing up on a few more skills wouldn't hurt. So I got 19 out of 30, but still, I scored better than only 18% of all people. Not the greatest, but we did learn a lot. That's the main thing here. We wanted to learn. We know now that no matter what situation you're in, if you're lost, if you're dying, if you're fighting a bear, yes, stand still. Well, maybe not fighting a bear. Fighting a bear, you're apparently supposed to run. Or it depends on the situation. I think that's the main thing that we learned. It all depends. None of it is all true or all false, except for one thing. Do not drink your pee. And that is the main thing we learned today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.